Okay. Sorry sa delay dahil naging busy rin ako throughout the whole day, but ngayon tuloy na ang ating inclusive report. Magandang gabi ho sa mga nanonood sa atin via Facebook Live at sa mga makikinood din sa pamamagitan ng ating YouTube channel. Ako si Billicent Bevera Macuse at ako ho ang nagpepresenta ng ating inclusive report sa gabing ito. Ang ating home topic sa ngayon ay Gigantism and Dwarfism. So, medyo napaghandaan natin ng konti kung ano ang mga ito. At sisimulan na natin ang pagtalakay sa kung ano ang Gigantism, Dwarfism at may treatment ba ito o ano? Simulan na natin. Ang gigantism ay isang rare condition na nagkakos ng abnormal growth in children. This change is most notable sa height, kundi pati rin sa girth. Nangyayari ito kapag masyadong maraming growth hormone ang ginagawa ng pituitary gland ng isang bata. This growth hormone is called somatotropin. Kapag nasususpect na may gigantism ang bata, kailangan ng early diagnosis. Importante ito dahil ang agarang treatment ay pwede makapigil or makaslow down sa changes na cause ng mas abnormal na paglaki, as in the child can grow larger than normal. This condition, however, ay mahihirapan ng parents na ma-detect dahil ang mga symptoms ng gigantism ay parang normal childhood growth spurts lang at first. Ang cause ng gigantism for most cases ay ang isang pituitary gland tumor. A pituitary gland ay kasing liit ng isang P and located sa base ng utak. It makes hormones that control many functions sa ating katawan. The pituitary gland manages some tasks including temperature control, sexual development, growth paglaki, metabolism, production ng urine or ihi. When a tumor grows on the pituitary gland, the gland makes far more growth hormone kaysa sa yung kailangan lang ng ating body. Ang iba pang less common cause ng gigantism ay ang Macure-Albright syndrome na ang dahilan ng abnormal growth sa bone tissue, nagkakaroon din ng patches ng light brown skin tsaka gland abnormalities. Ang Carney complex naman ay isang inherited condition na nagkakos ng non-cancerous tumor sa connective tissue. Cancerous or non-cancerous, this is called benign. Endocrine tumors at nagkakaroon ng spots ng darker skin. Ang isa ring sanhi ng gigantism ay multiple endocrine neoplasia type 1 or MEN1. Namamana ito na sanhi ng tumor sa pituitary gland, pancreas or parathyroid glands. Isa ring namamanang disorder ang neurofibromatosis na sanhi ng mga tumors naman sa nervous system. Paano makikilala na mayroong signs ng gigantism ang inyong anak? Kapag ang isang bata may gigantism, he or she is noticeably much larger kaysa sa mga kaedaran niyang mga bata. Also, ang ibang bahagi ng kanilang katawan ay mas malaki ang proportion sa ibang parts. Here, we will enumerate the common symptoms ng gigantism. Very large hands and feet, thick toes and fingers, prominent ang jaw tsaka forehead or noo, coarse facial features, at ang mga batang may gigantism ay maaaring magkaroon din ng flat noses or large heads, lips, or tongues or dila. May iba pang symptoms ang gigantism. Depende rin ito sa size ng pituitary gland tumor. Kapag tumutubo ang tumor, it may press on nerves in the brain. Kaya nagkakaroon ng headaches, vision problems, or nausea dahil sa mga tumor sa area na ito. Meron ding iba pang symptoms ang gigantism kagaya ng excessive sweating, severe or recurrent headaches, weakness or pagkahina ng katawan, insomnia and other sleep disorders, delayed din ang puberty, mapalalaki man or babae, irregular menstrual period sa mga babaeng may gigantism, or deafness or hindi nakaririnig ng maayos. Paano naman nadadiagnose ang gigantism? If the child's doctor suspects gigantism, maaari silang mag-recommend ng blood test upang makasukat ng levels ng growth hormones and insulin like growth factor 1, IGF-1. Ito ay isang hormone produced ng atay. Pwede ring mag-recommend ang doctor ng isang oral glucose tolerance test. Habang may oral glucose tolerance test, painumin ng batang may parang suspected gigantism na isang special beverage na may glucose. This is a type of sugar. Pagkatapos, magkukuhaan ng blood samples ang isang batang may suspected case ng gigantism before and after inumin ang beverage na ito. In a normal body, ang growth hormone levels ay bababa pagkatapos kumain or uminom ng glucose. If same as it was yung child's levels ng growth hormones, meaning masyadong maraming growth hormone na napoproduce ng kanilang katawan. If gigantism is indicated sa pamamagitan ng blood tests, kailangan ng batang isang MRI scan ng pituitary gland. Doctors use this scan to find the tumor and see its size and position. May mga treatments for gigantism na ang aim ay pigilan or slow down ng child's production of growth hormones. Isa rito ang surgery. Tatanggalin ng tumor na isang preferred treatment ng gigantism kapag ito ang underlying cause. The surgeon will reach the tumor by making an incision sa loob ng ilong ng bata. Pwedeng gumamit ng microscopes or small cameras upang matulungan ng surgeon na makita ang tumor sa loob ng gland. In most cases, pauwi na ang bata mula sa hospital the day after the surgery. Ang isa pang treatment for gigantism is medication. Dahil in some cases, surgery may not be an option, lalo na kapag halimbawa mayroong high risk ng injury sa isang critical blood vessel or nerve. The child's doctor may recommend medication if surgery is not an option. Ang treatment na to ay pwedeng paliitin ng tumor or stop ang production ng excess growth hormone. Pwede rin gumamit ang doctor ng drugs na octreotide or lanreotide upang mapigilan ang growth hormone release. These drugs mimic or ginagaya nila ang another hormone that stops growth hormone production. Ito ay binibigay na injection na gagamutin for once a month. Bromocriptine and cabergoline are drugs naman na ginagamit para mabawasan ng growth hormone levels. Ito ay binibigay in pill form. Pwede rin silang gamitin with octreotide. It's a synthetic hormone na kapag ini-inject, binabawasan din ang levels ng growth hormones and IGF-1. Sometimes though, there are situations na hindi helpful ang mga ganitong drugs. So, daily shots of pegvisiment ay pwede ring magamit. Now, what is pegvisiment? Pegvisiment is a drug that blocks the effects of growth hormones. Ito ay makakapag-lower ng levels ng IGF-1 sa katawan ng batang may gigantism. Another treatment is gamma knife radiosurgery. Ito ay option kapag ang doctor ay naniniwalang hindi possible ang isang traditional surgery. Ang gamma knife ay collection ng highly focused radiation beams that don't harm the surrounding tissue, but they can deliver a powerful dose of radiation sa point na nagko-combine sila at tatama sa tumor. This dose is enough upang ma-destroy ang tumor. Ang gamma knife treatment can take months to years upang maging fully effective at upang maibalik sa normal ang levels ng growth hormones. It's performed on an outpatient basis under general anesthetic. So, kapag ang isang patient with gigantism ay mag-undergo nito, patutulugin sila before the treatment takes place. This type of surgery has the radiation linked to obesity, however, pati learning disabilities and emotional issues sa mga bata. Ginagamit lang ito kadalasan kapag ang iba pang treatment options that were already discussed, gaya ng surgery tsaka medication, ay hindi tatalab to lower the growth hormone sa pasyente. Now for the long-term outlook, St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center declares na ang 80% ng gigantism cases caused by the most common type of pituitary tumor ay pwedeng pagalingin ng surgery. Kaya lang kapag bumalik ang tumor or walang safe attempt for surgery, pwede rin gumamit ng medications upang yung symptoms sa patient with gigantism ay mabawasan. Therefore, they will be allowed to live a long and fulfilling life. Now, let's go to dwarfism. Ang dwarfism naman ay isang condition ng short stature. It is defined by the advocacy group as a person with dwarfism with an adult length of 4 feet 10 inches or under. Sorry, I was supposed to say, a person with dwarfism has an adult height of 4 feet 10 inches or under na result ng isang medical or genetic condition. Although other groups may extend the criteria of certain forms of dwarfism to 5 feet, ang average height ng isang little person or adult with dwarfism ay 4 feet. Mayroon din itong categories gaya ng disproportionate dwarfism na characterized by an average size torso and shorter arms and legs, or isang mas maikling trunk na may longer limbs. In proportionate dwarfism naman, in proportion ng body parts kaya lang mas maikli. May mga causes and types din ito. Dwarfism can be caused by any of more than 200 conditions. Causes of proportionate dwarfism includes metabolic and hormonal disorders such as growth hormone deficiency. The most common types of dwarfism, known as skeletal dysplasias, are genetic. Ito ay condition ng abnormal bone growth that cause disproportionate dwarfism. First type of dwarfism is achondroplasia. It's the most common form, occurring in about 1 out of 26,000. to 440,000 babies at makikita na ito pagkapanganak. Ang mga may achondroplasia, these are little persons na may relatively long trunk and shortened upper parts of their arms and legs. We will discuss here the other features of achondroplasia gaya ng a large head with a prominent forehead, a flattened bridge of the nose, protruding jaw, crowded and misaligned teeth, forward curvature of the lower spine, bowed legs or yung tinatawag nating sakang, flat, short, broad feet, tsaka double jointedness. Another type of dwarfism is spondyloepiphyseal dysplasias or SED. SED, SED. A less common form of dwarfism, SED or SED, affects approximately 1 in 95,000 babies. Spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia refers to a group of conditions na ang characteristic ay isang shortened trunk, which may not be apparent until a child is between ages 5 and 10. Ang iba pang features ng said na type of dwarfism ay club feet, cleft palate, severe osteoarthritis sa hips, weak hands and feet, tsaka barrel-chested appearance. Diastrophic dysplasia is a rare form of dwarfism and it occurs in about 1 in 100,000 births. People who have it tend to have shortened forearms and calves, maikling kailang braso tsaka mga bias. This is known as mesomelic shortening. May iba pa itong signs kagaya ng deformed hands and feet, limited range of motion or paggalaw, cleft palate, tsaka tenga nila na may korteng cauliflower, ears with a cauliflower appearance. Meron din itong genetics ang dwarfism. Ang skeletal dysplasia is caused by a genetic mutation. Pwede itong mangyari spontaneously rather, or pwede rin itong mamana or ma-inherit. In the case naman of diastrophic dysplasia and usually spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia, namamana to sa isang recessive manner. Therefore, ang isang batang may diagnosis ng dwarfism, makakatanggap siya ng 2 copies of the mutated gene, na isa from the mother at isa naman from the father para maapektuhan siya. Sa dominant manner naman namamanang achondroplasia, isang copy lang ang mapupunta sa bata ng mutated gene upang magkaroon ng form na yan ng skeletal dysplasia. There is a 25% chance na ang isang bata na ang mga parents ay parehong may achondroplasia ay lalaki na normal height. But there is also a 25% chance na mamamana niya ang both dwarfism genes na tinatawag na double dominant syndrome. This is a fatal condition na ang madalas na result ay miscarriage or nakukunan yung nanay. Often, ang mga parents na may achondroplasia do not carry the mutated gene themselves. The mutation in the child occurs spontaneously at the time of conception, once na nabuo na yung baby, saka nangyayari ang mutation. Hindi pa alam ng doctors sa ngayon what causes a gene to mutate. It's a seemingly random occurrence that can happen in any pregnancy. Kapag ang average-sized parents ay nagkakaanak ng may dwarfism dahil sa spontaneous mutation, it's not likely naman that other children magkakaroon din ng ganyang mutation. Sa diagnosis naman ng dwarfism, some forms are evident in utero, at birth or during infancy at madadiagnose sa pamamagitan ng x-rays and a physical exam. A diagnosis of achondroplasia, diastrophic dysplasia, or spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia, makakonfirm ang mga ito through genetic testing. Minsan ang prenatal testing is done kapag may concern for specific conditions. Hindi naman to nagiging evident paminsan-minsan until later in a child's life. When parents notice some dwarfism signs, maghanap na sila ng diagnosis. Now, we're gonna discuss signs and symptoms na kailangang hanapin sa mga bata na nag-indicate ng potential for dwarfism. The signs and symptoms include a larger head, late development of certain motor skills kagaya ng sitting up or walking, breathing problems, curvature ng spine, bowed legs, joint stiffness and arthritis, lower back pain or numbness or hindi maggalaw ang legs or pagkamanhead, crowding of teeth. Kapag early ang diagnosis at treatment, it can prevent or lessen some of the problems associated with dwarfism. People with dwarfism na may growth hormone deficiency can be treated with growth hormones. Many people na may dwarfism ay meron ding orthopedic or medical complications. Treatment of those can include: first, insertion of a shunt para ma-drain ang excess fluid at ma-relieve ang pressure sa utak. A tracheotomy to improve breathing through small airways. Mayroon ding corrective surgeries for deformities kagaya ng cleft palate, clubfoot, or bowed legs. Surgery para tanggalin ng tonsils or adenoids to improve breathing problems related to large tonsils, maliit na facial structures, tsaka pwedeng small chest. Surgery to widen the spinal canal. A spinal canal is the opening through which the spinal cord passes to relieve spinal cord compression. Meron pang ibang treatment kagaya ng physical therapy na magpapalakas ng muscles and increase joint range of motion. Back braces para ma-improve ang curvature ng spine. Placement of draining tubes in the middle ear to prevent hearing loss dahil sa paulit-ulit na ear infections. Orthodontic treatment relieves crowding of teeth caused by a small jaw. Nutritional guidance and exercise upang ma-prevent ang obesity. Obesity can aggravate skeletal problems. Now, a notable case of dwarfism is Australian Quenbels. You'll figure out why naging viral siya lately. Ang diagnosis niya ay achondroplasia, the most common form of dwarfism. Sumailalim siya sa mga surgery upang ma-relieve ang pressure sa kanyang utak at spinal cord at para ma-prevent ang neurological damage. Bagaman successful nga ang mga surgeries na kanyang sinailalim, Quaden was still bullied, especially in school. Here we see a screenshot of Quaden Bales crying, taken from an already deleted Facebook video posted by his mother. This video generated 25 million views, where Quaden was seen crying after being bullied in school. Yaraka Bales, the mother of Quaden, had previously said she walked in on her son trying to take his life when he was just 6 years old. So there was an attempt for Quaden na I don't want to say the word, pero his mother just stopped him. 6 years old siya. Bullying is not really good, lalo na if your target person is a little person or a giant. Do not bully them. Hindi nyo alam what they're going through. Now, ang ating next topic ay Lenten season. Lenten season is typically observed by various denominations of Christianity, like Roman Catholics, Lutherans, Anglicans, or more. Hango ang Lent sa longer Old English word Lengten, which means spring. Although the period of Lent begins in the winter on Ash Wednesday, it continues into the spring season na nagko-conclude sa weekend of Easter Sunday. With regards to Quaden Bales, the previous subject, maraming nag-donate, but there was this fake account of Quaden na nanamantala via PayPal. So, what he and his mother did was to deactivate their social media, particularly pag-private ng kanilang Facebook. Dahil nga maraming napeke nung fake account ni Quaden regarding donations. Despite the outpouring support from several celebrities, dahil nga naging viral ang bullying video ni Quaden. Now, when does Lenten season start? Ang Lent natin ngayon, it started on Feb 26, Ash Wednesday. Now, what is Ash Wednesday? It's a day of reflection and repentance from sin. Possibly we see people walking around with black marks on their foreheads on this particular day, as some Catholics and other Christians who observe this holiday mark their foreheads with ashes in the shape of a cross, publicly showing remorse for their sins. Though sa last Ash Wednesday, hindi minarkahan ng krus ang forehead ng mga nanampalataya. Instead, ni-sprinkle yung abo sa kanilang mga ulo, sa kanilang mga ulunan. Dahil natin, for safety purposes, dahil sa coronavirus disease 2019 COVID-19 scare. Lent traditionally ends during Holy Week or Holy Saturday. This year, Lent 2020 will end on April 11, which is Holy Saturday, establishing the 40 days of observation. Since 1969, however, Catholics now stop observing Lent on Maundy Thursday or Holy Thursday, 2 days before Holy Saturday. For those following that kind of practice, Lent will end on April 7 this year, 2020. Holy Week is the week leading up to Easter. This year it begins on April 5, Palm Sunday. It consists of other significant days such as Monday, Holy Thursday, April 9, Good Friday, April 10, and ends on Holy Saturday, April 11, 2020. Now, let's discuss what Palm Sunday is. Also known as Passion Sunday, it celebrates Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, riding on a donkey. This is an important event that had been anticipated hundreds of years prior with prophecies like, "Rejoice greatly, daughter Zion. Shout, daughter Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey." Zechariah 9, verse 9. Being written long before Jesus was born. The significance of palm, quote-unquote, in the name of this day comes from the palm branches na nilagay sa kalsada in anticipation of Jesus' arrival. Now, for Holy Thursday, it's also known as Maundy Thursday. Ito ang paggunita sa Last Supper ni Jesus with his disciples, and this year it takes place on Thursday, April 9, 2020. Good Friday refers to the Friday before Easter. This year it will fall on April 10, and it signifies the day that Jesus was crucified. That in and of itself does not sound very good. But as Pope Francis shared in his 2019 Lenten message, the period of time leading up to Easter is when Christians are welcoming Christ's victory over sin and death into our lives. Holy Saturday or Black Saturday will take place this year on April 11, 2020. It commemorates the day that Jesus' body lay in the tomb. Now, what's the meaning of Lent? According to the Calvin Institute of Christian Worship, Lent invites us to make our hearts ready for remembering Jesus' passion and celebrating Jesus' resurrection. It can be a solemn time but also hopeful, expectant time of prayer and fasting before acknowledging celebrating Jesus' death and then his subsequent defeat of the grave on Easter. Na-share ni Pope Francis na ito ay period of time where we can strive to abandon idolatry. Idolatry is putting anything in our lives above God, as well as the self-sufficiency of our ego, and to acknowledge our need of the Lord and His mercy. How is Lent celebrated naman? One usually gives up something in his or her life during Lent, which can simultaneously help its observers reflect on Jesus' sacrifice of dying for their sake. Pwede mong i-give up on something you can enjoy, like soda, candy, alcohol, etc., or something you usually spend your time doing, like watching TV, or in most younger people, Netflix. Or scrolling through Instagram, and then that's replaced ideally with spiritual disciplines kagaya ng praying or reading the Bible. To be more specific, some Catholics don't eat meat during the Fridays of Lent. To be more exact, today is the first Friday of Lent. Pati na rin sa Ash Wednesday. While others don't eat meat on Fridays year-round. The National Conference of Bishops has explained in 1966 that because Jesus suffered on a Friday, this would be the day that they would have set apart and added. Our deliberate, personal abstinence from meat will be an outward sign of inward spiritual values that we cherish. Meron pang ibang ways to observe Lent, kagaya ng pag-participate sa mas madalas na church services or for Catholics, daily mass, and pamamahagi ng resources sa mga less fortunate. Ini-encourage ang volunteering tsaka pag-donate sa organizations na tumutulong sa mga maralita in various Christian denominations. Throughout the season of Lent, the goal is for one not to focus on his or her own sacrifice of giving something up, but recognizing that Jesus' sacrifice for humankind was and is overwhelmingly astounding, na nagbibigay sa atin ng salvation, and was and is literally life-changing. Any habit or discipline na nakakapagpamulat sa sino man sa God's sovereignty, as well as how much they need God in their day-to-day life, is encouraged dahil isa na rin itong paraan ng pag-celebrate ng Lent. So for this small discussion, how do we celebrate Lent? Is there any habits na willing kayong i-give up kapag start na ng Lent season? what other ways are you willing to reflect para mas magkaroon ng pananampalataya sa Panginoon and to repent for your sins? You can comment it below. Samahan niyo na kami. Hindi na namin kayang mag-isa ito. Kami nanalangin sa mga sumusunod. Sa mga may karamdaman, sana bigyan kayo ni Lord ng lakas at pagalingin kayo sa pamamagitan ng kanyang mahiwagang kamay. Sa mga may problema at pinagdaraanan sa buhay, hayaan niyo si Lord na tulungan kayo sa mabuting paraan. At sa mga Pilipinong nasa ibang bansa, gagabayan kayo ni Lord sa inyong mga ginagawa sa buhay. Dahil walang magmamalasakit sa ating mga batang inclusion, kundi tayo ring mga kapwa kong batang inclusion. Muli, ako yung lingkod, Billicent Bevera Macuse, ang kasalukuyang kalawang pangulo na pangugnayang panglabas ng Hands in Inclusion PH nag-uulat. Magandang gabi at pagpalain nawa tayo ng poong may kapal. H and I, God first.